Aggregate demand, AD, and aggregate supply, AS, are vital concepts in economics. AD is the total demand for goods and services within a country, as is the total supply of goods and services that firms plan to sell. AD and AS models help explain inflation, unemployment, and economic growth. Economists use these models to predict how different factors affect the economy. The AD-AS model provides a framework to analyze economic policies. Policymakers use it to decide on fiscal and monetary policies. Understanding these concepts can help us make sense of economic news and trends. Aggregate demand, or AD, is the total demand for all goods and services in an economy. It is expressed as AD equals C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C stands for consumption, including all household spending. I stands for investment, covering business spending on capital goods and household spending on new houses. G stands for government spending on goods and services. X minus M represents net exports, the value of exports minus imports. Each component plays a crucial role. For example, a rise in consumption can increase AD. Similarly, more investment by businesses can boost the economy. Government spending can stimulate demand during a recession. Net exports can influence AD depending on trade balances. Understanding these components helps in analyzing economic policies. Several factors determine aggregate demand, or AD. Consumer confidence is a key determinant. Optimism leads to more spending. Interest rates also affect AD. Lower rates make borrowing cheaper, encouraging spending and investment. Government policies, both fiscal and monetary, play significant roles. Fiscal policies like tax cuts or increased government spending can boost AD. Monetary policies like adjusting interest rates also influence AD. External factors like exchange rates and global economic conditions can affect AD. A weaker currency makes exports cheaper and imports more expensive, boosting net exports. Global economic trends can impact exports and imports, influencing AD. Understanding these determinants is crucial for predicting economic trends. If consumer confidence is high and interest rates are low, AD is likely to increase. Policymakers use this knowledge to craft economic policies that stabilize and grow the economy. The aggregate demand, or AD, curve slopes downward. As the price level falls, the quantity of goods and services demanded increases. The wealth effect, lower prices increase the real value of money, boosting spending. The interest rate effect, lower prices reduce money demand, leading to lower interest rates and increased borrowing. The exchange rate effect, lower prices make domestic goods cheaper relative to foreign goods, increasing exports. Several factors can shift the AD curve. For instance, an increase in consumer confidence or a tax cut can shift the AD curve to the right. Conversely, a decrease in government spending or a rise in interest rates can shift the AD curve to the left. Understanding why the AD curve slopes downward and what causes it to shift is essential. It helps us predict how different economic policies will affect total demand. This knowledge is crucial for making informed decisions in both personal finance and business planning. Section 5. Introduction to Aggregate Supply, or AS. Aggregate supply represents the total output of goods and services that firms in an economy are willing to produce at different price levels. AS can be divided into short-run aggregate supply, SRAS, and long-run aggregate supply, LRAS. In the short run, some input prices are sticky, causing the SRAS curve to slope upward. In the long run, all input prices are flexible, making the LRAS curve vertical. Several factors determine aggregate supply, including labor, capital, and natural resources. Technological advancements also play a significant role. Improved technology can increase productivity, shifting the AS curve to the right. Understanding aggregate supply is crucial for analyzing economic performance. Policymakers use AS analysis to design strategies that enhance production capacity and economic stability. Section 6. Short-run and long-run aggregate supply. SRAS refers to the period when some input prices, like wages, are sticky. They do not adjust immediately to changes in the economy, which makes the SRAS curve slope upward. In the short run, firms can increase production if the price level rises by using existing resources more intensively. However, this comes with higher costs, which is why the SRAS curve is upward sloping. Factors like labor costs and raw material prices can affect SRAS. LRAS represents a period when all input prices are flexible. The LRAS curve is vertical, indicating that the total output is not affected by the price level in the long run. Improvements in technology or an increase in resources can shift the LRAS curve to the right. Understanding the difference between SRAS and LRAS is crucial for analyzing how short-term changes can impact the economy differently from long-term changes. Section 7. Shapes of SRAs and LRAs. The SRAS curve slopes upward, indicating that as the price level increases, the quantity of goods and services supplied also increases. This happens because some input costs, like wages, are sticky in the short run. Firms can increase production by using existing resources more intensively. The LRA's curve, however, is vertical. It shows that in the long run, the total output of goods and services is not affected by the price level. The LRA's curve represents the economy's full employment output and depends on factors like labor, capital, and technology. The SRAS curve can shift due to changes in production costs. The LRAS curve can shift due to changes in the economy's productive capacity. Understanding the shapes and shifts of SRAs and LRAS is essential for analyzing how different factors affect the economy in the short run and the long run. Section 8. Causes of shifts in SRAs and LRAS. In the short run, changes in production costs are a major factor. For example, an increase in wages or raw material prices can shift the SRAS curve to the left. Conversely, a decrease in production costs can shift the SRAS curve to the right. Factors like labor productivity and input prices play a significant role in shifting the SRAS curve. In the long run, shifts in the LRAS curve are influenced by changes in the economy's productive capacity. Technological advancements are a key factor. Improved technology can increase productivity, shifting the LRAS curve to the right. Other factors include changes in the labor force and capital stock. Understanding the causes of shifts in SRAS and LRAS is crucial for analyzing economic dynamics. Section 9. Movement along versus shift in AD and AS. A movement along the AD or AS curve occurs when there is a change in the price level. For example, if the price level rises, the quantity of goods and services demanded decreases, resulting in a movement upward along the AD curve. Similarly, a movement along the AS curve happens when the price level changes. A shift in the AD or AS curve occurs when there is a change in any other factor besides the price level. For example, an increase in consumer confidence can shift the AD curve to the right. In the case of AS, a shift can occur due to changes in production costs or productive capacity. For example, an increase in wages can shift the SRAS curve to the left. Conversely, an improvement in technology can shift the LRAS curve to the right. Understanding these differences is crucial for analyzing economic changes. Section 10. Equilibrium in the AD-AS model. Equilibrium in the aggregate demand or AD and aggregate supply or AS model occurs where the AD curve intersects the AS curve. At this point, the quantity of goods and services demanded equals the quantity supplied. This equilibrium determines the overall price level and real output in the economy. In the short run, equilibrium is established at the intersection of the AD curve and the short-run aggregate supply or SRAS curve. This point determines the current price level and output. In the long run, equilibrium is established at the intersection of the AD curve and the long-run aggregate supply or LRAS curve. This point represents the economy's full employment output. Changes in the AS curves also impact equilibrium. Understanding equilibrium in the AD-AS model is crucial for analyzing economic stability. Section 11. Effects of shifts in AD and AS on economic indicators. Shifts in aggregate demand, or AD, and aggregate supply, or AS, have significant effects on economic indicators like output, price levels, and employment. When the AD curve shifts to the right, it indicates an increase in total demand. This can lead to higher output and price levels. Employment typically rises as firms need more workers to meet the increased demand. Conversely, a leftward shift in the AD curve indicates a decrease in total demand. This can result in lower output and price levels. Employment may decrease as firms need fewer workers. Shifts in the AS curves also impact economic indicators. A rightward shift in the short-run aggregate supply or SRAS curve indicates lower production costs. This can lead to higher output and lower price levels. Understanding the effects of shifts in AD and AS is crucial for analyzing economic trends.